Hey, all this is Jackie Bros.
I'm Dunlap.
And I tell you what, I got a great sponsor on this beautiful sunny Easter Sunday. And it's plans to do what you need to do later. When does this thing go up? When do people hear this?
It'll be tonight. It'll be too late.
Well, I shouldn't have took $25 from him then.
If it's just, is it something that's only happening on Easter, Jackie?
Well, yeah. As far as I know, it's just happening
then
today.
They wasted that $25.
Well, now I feel terrible. I figured they should have known that. He don't know when this thing goes on. Anybody listening
What
to
about
this?
the listener, though? You're going to tell the listener that all this great stuff is happening in
Well, I
you
know.
missed
That's
it.
what I didn't. I'm a man of my word. I'm going to say it, but it don't make no sense. I took $25, so I got to say
You could give
it.
him the $25 back and not do this sponsor.
I guess. Well, no, I took the $25 and saying I was going to say this, and I'm
So
going to
you're
say
saying
it.
you're a man of your word because you told him you'd take $25 and you would do this on the radio.
Yep.
And
It
that's
ain't a
more
radio.
important to you than the part about it being totally meaningless and a waste of his money. Because it seems to me
I'm
like
going to give him his money back, but as of now, I'm not able to, and we're doing this, and I have the money in pocket, so I'm going to go ahead and say this, and I know it don't make sense, but it's happening today. There's no way no one can hear this like right now when we're doing it. That's
No. Somebody walked into the room with us and stood here and listened to us. And
Well, I've been telling people all day up in the store about this. You know, it's in the parking lot here in a couple hours. It's going to be here. So,
Well, you know what, Jackie? We could put it up early. Sometimes we wait till midnight Eastern time.
well, go on and put this one up as soon as you can. It'll be a couple hours. Somebody may be able to get down here. So, yeah, just
All right, we'll put this one's going to go up a little earlier than midnight Eastern
Well, good,
time because
yeah.
we're trying to get people down here for
Well,
what?
now I can keep it $25, but it's going to be up at least
I
before.
see.
Well,
It was a bunch of maneuvering just so your conscience.
no, it ain't that. It's just that if I'm doing the job I was paid to do, then I should be able to be paid for it, right?
I'm glad I don't have any morals because they sound confusing.
Hell.
I like just knowing I'm always going to do the wrong thing and not having to worry about it. Because listen to you contort and twist yourself around.
I try, because I have a conscience. I try to think things through where you just don't give a darn about
No,
nothing.
Not at all.
Well, go on, live your life. It'll catch up to you one of
So
these
that's
days.
Jackie's sponsor.
No, I didn't do it. I'm going to do it now. Now, listen here. Now, if this go up early, so as soon as you hear this, get in your car. Some people say they listen to this in the car. I've heard before you sit on the computer. So if you listen to this in your car right now, head on over here to Jackie's store. It'll be in a couple hours from now. And it's something else. Old Dr. Birdman has got something up his sleeve for this Easter holiday season. And when you finish your church and your meal, and you said you're ready to go home, sit down and rest the rest of Easter, don't do that. Get on down here at Jackie's store. If you don't make it here in time, 2 hours later, it's going to be in Big Lots parking lot. So Dr. Birdman is going to have, in celebration of Easter, the resurrection of Hurt Bird.
Wait, what? Did Hurt Bird die?
Well, no, he ain't doing good, but he ain't dead yet. It's worst I ever seen him. He's close to death, but no, he's still hanging on. Thanks to people come and look at him and whatnot. But this resurrection of Hurt Bird today on Easter, it's going to appear that he comes back to life. And due to all the gratitude and all the money, I think it cost a $15 ticket. Bring your youngins because they're going to hide little sick eggs everywhere like Easter. I don't agree with hiding eggs on Easter. This is different. This is fun, something for, bird. So come get your sick eggs, be hiding around here in front of the store, out behind by the dumpsters. Everywhere around here be sick eggs hidden, and the inside's a little, a piece of candy, figurine, something, I don't know, different, Easter stuff like that. But it's sick eggs, what we call it, because it comes from Hurt Bird. And after after the festivities there, and I'll be serving barbecue, of course, here in the store, come in here, and Dr. Birdman said, I usually don't allow this, but because of the money going to help the bird, he's serving some kind of food. I don't know what it is he's got, but he said he's all right, and usually I don't like that because I want you to come in here and eat my food, but being that the money's going to Hurt Bird, that's fine, whatever it is. He'll have something out there, something to feed youngins or whatnot outside of the candy, something good to eat.
Like IKEA hot dogs or something?
Something like that. Hot dog. I think they get like a grill, hot dogs, and a hamburger. Something you can make like that. Outdoor Easter food, that sort of thing. So
Sure.
So he'll be serving that after festivities. Then Hurtbird, you'll see Hurtbird will be out there the whole time. You make sure you take a look at him. It's just
Sick. He's out there sick. He's not really getting better. He's laying there.
No,
sick.
he doesn't. Last I heard, because that's the first thing I said, basically what you said when he said resurrection of Hurtbird. I said, well, how Hurtbird's doing good? He said, no, I've seen him. It's not looking good. But for this, they just gonna, after you play the game and stuff, it looked like he come back to life and he flies up in the air. It's something to see. I think they just got him on a wire. But come on down. Resurrection of Hurtbird's going to be here. And, of course, you can't get here in time. Just head on. If you know a certain distance, if you're hearing this in the car and you know you can't get to my store in time, head on over Big Lots because they're going to do it over there next. And it's just a single. It's just Hurtbird. Hurtbird's 2 through 6, I can't remember the last it was 2 through 6, something like that. It would start up high. I think one of them made it, but it's well, so it ain't got no place in this show. It's doing good. So
all the other sick birds are dead.
No, I said one's well, one's fine, but
hurt birds. Sorry, all the other hurt bird. One hurt bird lived, but now it's just a regular bird.
Well, yeah, he ain't got no place in the show like this.
Hurt bird himself, the original hurt bird, is not doing that well. He did not die. And he's not getting better, but they're having a Hurtbird resurrection ceremony for him, where they're going to hook up a wire to a
this
nearly
is what
dead
will hopefully
bird.
happen if you come and see the show and give
more money.
It would go get that raise that money for that specialist.
He still hadn't been to the specialist.
Well, it's $500,000, isn't it? Something like that.
It was something. It was more than you thought it would be. I can't remember the exact amount.
Well, you don't know nothing about exotic rare birds.
No, I guess
and the
not.
doctors are just as rare and exotic, I reckon. And it cost money. Things in this world cost money.
It does.
Ain't no Obamacare for
no bird.
Nope.
Not yet. Thank God.
Well, it's coming, yeah.
What are sick eggs again? They're eggs that come out of hurt bird?
No, that bird's too sick to lay egg. You don't know how to kill them do that if it want to. No, it's just little toy things, hurt, sick. It's the thing, sick eggs.
So just regular Easter eggs with he stuck something in them and hit them all around your property.
Well, yeah. Kids like to do that on Easter.
Sure.
They love. That's what they love. Where's the egg? Where's the egg? I don't think see anything of raising a child that way. Like I said, this is different. This makes sense at least.
Jackie is
bird and egg make sense together. That looking for a sick egg makes more sense to me than looking for an Easter egg.
Jackie doesn't like Easter eggs.
Well, it don't make no sense. A rabbit, none of that stuff. Santa Claus, I know don't make sense, but Christmas Santa Claus, that fits. That works together. That makes sense. The day the Lord Jesus was born as a baby, somebody give him toys. The gold frankincense myrrh, that's what toys were back in. That's what it was. And then nowadays, Santa Claus give you youngins' toys. That makes sense. Easter, Jesus coming back from the dead, rising from a grave, ain't got nothing to do with bunny rabbits or eggs. Neither one.
Maybe we ought to let Dr. Birdman run Easter.
Well, that's kind of what he's doing, I'd say. It don't cost but $15. You want to have a good Easter, one that makes sense. Like I said, egg, bird makes sense. That makes sense to me.
Sure. Egg bird, proceeds go to get hurt bird to that specialist. I'm just trying to recap. $15.
Right.
The first show is at Jackie's store. Second show is at Big Lots. I guess you could go to both shows.
If you liked it the first time, sure, why not? If your kid ought to find a sick egg, I don't know why you won't take it. Maybe he wants another one, I guess. Yeah, take him over Big Lots.
Hurtbird is on his last legs, but they've hooked a wire up to him. They're going to haul him up in the air.
It just looks like he's getting better. Like it just gives a... And plus, I guess it's kind of, if you think about training for him, remind him what he's supposed to be doing,
That plants a seed of hope.
I would say so, yeah.
And then they hide sick eggs for the kids, and also Dr. Birdman's going to cook up some sort of food, but we're not clear on the details.
I don't know what it was. I said something I don't think he's vegetarian. I just heard it wasn't vegan. Hell, it wasn't nothing like that. I guess I don't serve nothing like that for nobody, but I guess hippies has started taking a liking to this sick bird or whatever, PETA, whatever it is. They're always showing up with signs and this everywhere this man goes. But I guess he makes money off of. I mean, he doesn't
Wait a
mind
minute.
them.
PETA is protesting him, but he's selling veggie burgers
They
to
buy
them.
that stuff, bean sprout, whatever it is. He figured out a way to get.
So he's making money off the protests of the people who come to protest him.
Well, they
showing
get
off-
hungry out there, don't they?
I guess.
So I guess he's gonna have whatever that is.
So that's his Easter food he's cooking up for everybody. It's veggie burgers, what he sells to PETA.
That's what those hippies out there eat. That's what they like. They won't come in here, and I'm glad they don't like barbecue. They ain't gonna eat nothing in here. And then the Lord knows they're gonna be there. They're following them around because some of the stuff I think you've been saying, I didn't know libertarians and this and that listen to this mess. But y'all just stay home unless, of course, you're hungry and want a meal that's appropriate for your hippie diet or whatever it is you eat. Come on down, but leave the Hurtbird alone.
So that's a Hurtbird resurrection, folks.
Be down here at Jackie Market, parking lot, a couple hours from now, and then directly at Big Lots. As long as take him and get him down off that wire, put him back in cage, haul him over. It ain't too far.
I got a sponsor this week, Jackie. I think you're going to like.
Yeah? I don't know about that.
TT Slot Industries.
Oh, hell. I'm not going to sit here and listen to that. Don't start that now.
This is all above board, Jackie. She gave me $25.
I don't.
What am I supposed to do?
Just
What am
don't
I
talk
supposed to
about
do?
no prostitute stuff. Just don't. I don't want to hear it.
This is all above board, Jackie. I can promise you there is no
Ah.
prostitute. Former prostitute
Oh, you
and most.
just said it twice already, and you said
She is
have
rarely.
her change her name. Look, if you just
prostitute.
because every time I hear that name, I know what she does. What she did, she needs to change the name. You trying to change your life, turn it around, do something else. Change Margaret, whatever, something.
I think that it'd be a branding problem.
All
I
right.
think that people, you are the one that still thinks of TT Slot as a prostitute.
I-
Most of the folks who buy her family of beverages and movies, slot box, they think of her as a Murfreesboro business leader, a feminist icon, a former sex worker, not
She
prostitute.
had different prostitutes. You say movies. She had prostitutes with garbage sacks full of DVDs, DVR, whatever they is, all over the place. And you'd get the movie. That was just an excuse to get her in the car with you. I'd see through this. I know better
She
what
does
that
have
is.
an army of former and current prostitutes who do her,
Whether
her
she's
most of her
doing
employees.
it, that's the point I'm trying to say. Whether she's doing it or not,
But she does
she's
not-
still condoning that sort of behavior, and I don't want
She
to have.
is working to get them off of sex work if that's what they choose. Now,
I-
Jackie, you could go down to the any sort of plant that makes air conditioners or components for automobiles, and you could say, how many of y'all are sex workers in your spare time?
What?
And I'd say a third would raise their hands.
I don't.
So
want-
just because you have some people who occasionally perform what you would refer to by the slut-shaming name of prostitution.
That's what it is, and I don't want to be affiliated with it.
But first of all, she does not own Slotbox anymore. She sold Slotbox to Coley's Snack Foods
What?
and Christian Cinemas.
They didn't buy. No one at Coley's Cinema Snack Food bought anything from a prostitute. You were making that up. That's a bald-faced lie.
TT Slot wanted to double down on the beverage industry because she feels that that's where she's making the most headway here in town in the Murfreesboro business scene.
Right.
And she thought that maybe getting into the movie business was a distraction and sort of clouding her brand. So she sold that to Coley's, and they've opened up Godbox, which they have sacks full of a lot of VHS, but they also carry the edited versions of the. Let's say you go to Redbox, you're like, I want to rent Ride Along with Ice Cube and Kevin Hart.
Right.
Well, the folks from Godbox are going to be standing there making you feel ashamed for watching that with all that cussing, and they'll say, hey, why don't you rent Ride Along with Jesus? This is a version that we at Coley's Christian Cinemas made. There's no cussing in it. There's no affiliation with gangster rap. It stars Christian comedian Jerry Henriksen
What?
and Christian rapper Walter Leaflet.
Leaflet.
Yeah, he doesn't. They don't really have rap names in Christian rap. They just regular names.
Well, if they're Christians, they ought not be rapping.
You can rap about Jesus. That's racist.
Oh, I don't like it. I don't care. I know everybody raps now. We've had this conversation. I still don't like it.
So Slot Box is no more now. There's just God Box, and
What?
they
I run by prostitutes?
yes, they kept their
I
employees.
ain't gonna get. I don't care what the
No,
movie
they're
is.
former and current. Look, does that make you feel better that Coley's has taken in these employees of TT Slots? Then they're working to put the prostitution behind them. They don't get in the car anymore. They don't
Well,
go
good.
down on you. They don't give you a
I
hand
I
job.
don't want to have.
They
no,
don't
Enough of
stick
that.
anything.
Enough of it. I ain't gonna listen to it.
They stand up there. They're all. You don't have to convert to Christianity. You don't have to, stop being backslid to work for God Box. But really, if you're up there selling Christian movies, it's your performance when it comes review time. It's going to be reflected whether you really believe in the product.
Huh.
So I would say that most of the former sex workers, prostitutes that are working for God Box now, they're a lot better now at shaming you for buying something, that has some cussing in it or some sex.
All right, fine. That's good. That's your sponsor, God Box. That's it.
No, that's not my sponsor
I
at all.
don't want to talk about it anymore.
I got
had
off.
enough of
I don't
it.
know where God Box. I just wanted to update you on
I'm
what's going on
tired.
in the Murfreesboro.
Want to know what's going on with prostitutes. If they're not doing it no more, that's good. Good
But
for
see,
them.
there you go. So God Box, when you go to rent something, just be prepared. There's going to be a former prostitute.
Oh,
ready
hell
to
now, ain't
shame
nobody
you.
gonna. Don't nobody want to go. You getting it when nobody go. You can put Red Box out of business and nobody making any money. Who the hell's gonna go if you don't want to, if you don't go to church, you don't want to go to Red Box be preached at, and if you do go to church, you don't want to go there and see a prostitute.
Jesus talked to a lot of prostitutes.
I know he did. I know
I
he
have
did.
never read the Bible, but I understand half of it is Jesus talking to
That
prostitutes.
is different. That is different. That's Jesus doing it. I guarantee you, when you go to talk to a prostitute, it ain't like Jesus did. I know for a fact it ain't.
I guess just because Jesus did something, I can't do it. It's off the list for me.
I
can't.
Because you ain't. All right, Jesus got nailed up on a cross. You want to do that too?
No.
Well, then.
That sounds horrible.
That's right. That's what Easter's about. Keep in mind what today is for. And you sitting there talk about prostitutes. I don't know if Coley's did that or not. I'm gonna check with him. I don't know if I believe you on that.
They're working. They're working together. I mean, to keep prostitutes from being prostitutes and also make them sanctimonious.
All right.
And they got edited versions. You could get the edited version of Ride Along where they take out all the cuss and violence and blasphemy and sex, or you could get the Christian version with Christian rapper Christian comedian Jerry Henriksen and Christian rapper Walter Leaflet.
Leaflet. I ain't never heard of him. I don't know.
It's just a regular name, just like everybody
I'm
has.
not going to trust if I go somewhere to get a movie and it's a prostitute giving me something to come out of a bag. How do I know it's going to be old Leaflet on there? I don't know what they're giving me.
Well,
you don't want to take nothing from no prostitute because you don't know what they're giving you. I'm telling you right now.
They want to get. I was talking to some folks at College Christian Cinemas, and they gave me the lowdown because I was like, this is hard to believe. And folks, again, I'm sorry, I haven't gotten to my sponsor yet. This is a little diversion.
It's Skybox or whatever, isn't it? Isn't that it? That's enough.
No, that's not my sponsor, Skybox.
Who talked about prostitution? That's what happens every time you bring that woman's name up. I don't want to talk about it on here. I don't want to be affiliated with prostitution.
What the Godbox wants to do, because they recognize some of the same problems that you've mentioned here, Jackie, Coley's Godbox wants to bring in a kiosk and put it right next to Redbox, one of them automated kiosks. But they haven't quite cracked the code. They don't know all the computer chips and all the programming languages that the folks at Redbox use. So people are uncomfortable dealing with former or current prostitute sex workers, so they're going to put them in the machine and have them push out whatever you select.
What?
But the machine will talk to you, too, like one of those old – you remember when Coke machines used to first come out and talk and be like, 1 Coke, 65 cents. So, like when you walk up to Redbox, Godbox, Coley's Godbox would be like, "Are you sure you want to damn yourself to hell?" And then you'll be like, "Oh, that's a good idea. I better go over here to Godbox and get right with the Lord and watch some good Christian comedy."
Well, ain't no computer gonna tell me nothing about my soul one way or the other. I understand the good they're trying to do, but I don't believe in
Well,
that.
it's not a computer. It's a prostitute
That's worse.
doing a voice. They recognize all the problems you brought up here, Jackie, and they want to hide the prostitutes, but still use them because they work cheap. So they're putting them in the kiosk, and they're going to do a little computer voice, and they're going to slide out there whatever Walter Leaflet has made.
Now, look, I know Coolidge has a history of using people trying to turn their lives around. Prisoners tear out Bible pages every day, put them in the bag of snacks. That's what Coolidge usually does. Coolidge snack foods, Bible page in every bag. So there may be some truth to them trying to get prostitutes off the street. Now, if that's what they're trying to do, I appreciate that. Get them to turn their life around. That's good. But I don't know about this. I need to ask about them. I don't know nothing about no God box. First time hearing of it.
So my sponsor today, Jackie, I think you're really going to like this. TT Slot, former prostitute, sex worker.
All right. Every
still
time you
has
just
plenty
change your name. Just start over.
Why would you buy Margaret water when you could buy Slot water?
Oh, well.
People know you, in your mind, your judgmental hypocrite mind, it keeps people from going to church and getting right with Jesus because they know church is full of people like you, thinks of TT Slot as a sex worker. If you ask the average 7-year-old on a Murfreesboro playground, "Hey, who is TT Slot?" they'd say, "Hey, she's that former prostitute who makes those great beverages." And we're talking about, of course, Slot cider, Slot juice, Slot water, Slot, was that it? Did I forget one? I think that's it. Slot water.
I don't know none of them.
Slot cider, Slot juice. Of course, she branched out into Slot Box, which we just covered, is now owned by Coley's Christian Cinemas. But she just wanted to basically, Jackie, thank Murfreesboro.
Huh.
She knows there's been a lot of new waters hitting the streets and the coolers of Murfreesboro.
Wow.
And she just wanted to thank everybody for their loyalty and their continued patronage and to let them know that she's going to double down, focus on Slot beverages, and that the rest of 2014 is going to be something really special. And
What?
you're going to want to hang on to your hats and thank you. But she did want me to point out, just remind folks that Slot water still tastes delicious, cold, in a beverage, even though there's lots of new brands of Murfreesboro waters like Hose Water, let's say, that there's always
Hose water is something that people come in here. I don't
She's-
serve no Slot water
Well,
here, like I told you. I ain't
TT
got to say it
Slot
again.
loves America, and she loves freedom, and she loves choice. And she said,
Well.
if you're a Hose Water guy or gal, that's your prerogative because you're born free under the U.S. Constitution.
Well, that's right. That's what I am. When I get thirsty and my throat gets parched, I want some of that delicious hose water. Because
Sure.
you get some of that hose, it takes you back. One sip keeps
Uh-huh.
simple, back to the days when you drink out of your daddy's hose.
I've heard it
when
all
he's out
before.
there gardening and everything. Hose water, they're not my sponsor this week, but I'm proud to talk about a good product. You come get that in the store today when you come see Heartbird Resurrection.
Well, I don't know why you would purposely go into a little mini commercial for my
Because it's a
sponsor's
fine product.
competitor.
You brought it up.
There in the middle, that's like, we're here to talk about Coca-Cola.
Well,
You
if
go,
she's-
well, let's talk about Pepsi.
Well, you the one that brought it up. I didn't say nothing about no
Well,
hose
she
water.
just
I'm saying if
wants-
there's a choice between the waters, I want to have that delicious kind of water. One that, like I said, one sip keeps it simple, takes you back. Instead of drinking, here's this water this prostitute made. Nobody wants to drink that. I don't know how. And it may be fine water. That's what I'm saying. Change your name. It could be I ain't going to drink it because that name, she's a famous prostitute of these areas. Everybody knows T.T. Slot. Years and years before she did any of this, did you see old T.T. Slot standing out in front of, Jim and Jim's too, this, that. Everybody know who T.T. Slot was. But now it's water this and movies that and this and that, but it's still...
Lean in, Jackie. It's a new world of ladies who run businesses. Maybe your simple mind can't comprehend the fact that men and women are equal these days. But just because you like
If a
hose
man-
water made by a man doesn't mean.
Well, if a man was out there doing the gigolo business, whatever, gigolo businessman, I wouldn't support him either. It ain't got nothing to do with woman, man, either one. If they're selling their bodies
who's doing a
for
gigolo
pleasure,
business?
I didn't say anybody was.
Are they
don't
taking
know.
applications? Because I can get, I can
No,
throw my
I'll-
resume together.
Hell, all I'm saying, it wouldn't make no difference whether it's a man or a woman. Gigolo, prostitute, don't make no difference to me. It ain't right. So it ain't about her being a woman.
Look, Jackie, I don't want to fight.
I don't want to fight either. I just don't like her no more than I like gigolo man. That's all I'm trying to say.
TT
You sitting there
Slot-
trying to say sexist this and that, and it ain't that at all.
Yeah, I don't know why you always running down my sponsors. TT Slot
Cause-
come out and she just said, look, Murfreesboro is a thirsty town. We all know that. And they want so much to drink here in Murfreesboro that there's plenty of room. She welcomes her competitors at Hose Water. And she just wanted me to remind folks that, you know, water, schmotter, there's always Slot Juice. And remember the flavors of Slot Juice comes in, what is it? Slot water, Slot juice flavors are, sorry, she just added this at the end of the copy here. Grape apple, pink, clear, and hose. So
Wow.
that's my
Hose?
sponsor this week, Slot.
She can't
TT
have no
Slot.
hose flavor. That's ripoff.
What?
There ain't no flavor she's got called hose. There ain't there ain't but one hose.
Oh,
that's
it's
hose.
flying off the shelves, Jackie. She got this.
It ain't flying off no shelf in here, no, sir. No, hose water is the only flavor of this
No,
hose.
she's
Hose water.
got
There's three. Listen, there's four. There's hose water's original green hose. There's black hose. There is Energy Plus for when you're on the go, and then there's hose water light. That's it. That's all the hose water there is. That's
Yeah,
the
that's
only
all the
flavors
hose-
of hose water there is.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're absolutely right. I'm just saying the flavors of Slot Juice are grape apple, pink, clear, and hose. That's all
No,
I'm
it
saying.
ain't hose.
I think
No,
we can
no.
agree to disagree.
It could
on
be
this.
apple, all that you want, but no, the only things hose flavor are just what I named off. Green original hose water, black hose, Energy Plus hose water for when you're on the go, and hose water light. That's it.
Well, see-
No more hose flavors.
I think the problem is you're talking about water. I'm talking about juice, good Slot juice, grape apple, pink, clear, and hose. Juice. Slot juice hose. She said it's flying
no.
off the shelf.
There
She
ain't
can't
no
keep
slot
it in
juice
stock.
hose. No hose. What? They can't have a word hose in it. That's something that belongs to Rio McElroy and
Oh,
his
right.
boys. That's
I forgot they invented hoses.
it. They the ones made hose water as a product.
I made hose water when I was 3 years old and I turned the faucet
Well,
on.
you didn't think to fill up bottles, put it in the back of the trunk, driving around, sell it, did you? No,
I-
you didn't. No,
You know,
you
I
didn't.
think
And it's
every
America.
6-year-old has thought of that, and then they wise up and they think nobody's going to be stupid enough to buy a bottle of hose water
Well,
and fill
I
up
guess-
in the backyard.
I guess they ain't that smart because it's selling off the shelves here. I can't keep it stocked.
Well, I will tell you, TT Slot says Slot Juice Hose is the best-selling Slot Juice she's come out with, and she's never seen anything like it in her, 9 months of being a beverage
Well, that ain't.
empire.
I'm gonna tell Rio McElroy and him and his boys ain't gonna be happy to hear about this. I'm gonna
I'd
say
like
it right
to
now.
see Rio McElroy and his boys take on an army of former and current sex
All
worker
right.
prostitutes.
You just
Let's
said
see
the
who
thing
wins
former.
that.
Former. You didn't say. You heard you say current.
Former and current.
Oh hell.
But they ain't working for, if they're freelancing. If they're current, they ain't working for TT Slot.
Well, I got
That's
some-
a hobby.
Well, as soon as we get done here after Heartbird Resurrection, I'm gonna get Mr. Coley on the phone, and I'm gonna be calling Rio McElroy too. We'll settle this. We'll see about this.
Well, I'm going to be driving away from here to a store that appreciates diversity and down in a good cold bottle of Slot Juice Hose.
There ain't no slot juice hose. It's hose. I'm not gonna go through it again. I already told you a million times.
I told you a million times.
It's
TT Slot.
hose water,
Slot
green,
juice, grape,
original
apple, grape
flavor.
apple,
No,
pink, clear, and
Is it
hose.
plus on the gold black hose and hose water light?
Hey, look at there. You see him? Well, open your damn eyes in. It's the old-timey country down-home Red State Update podcast and them. Coming to you from a bunker underneath Jackie's Market in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. And here they are, both of them.
Hey, Jackie Bros.
Hey there, he's Dunlap, the man. How you doing?
Dunlap a man, yeah. I remember that.
Trying to bring that back.
Yeah.
I'm hoping this time it'll take hold.
Well, it didn't the first time. Did nothing take hold.
Easter Sunday.
Yeah, trying to hurry up and get done talking this,
We're-
get upstairs, get some food, and go see the show, this and that. Yeah.
We're trying to get done. Did you go to church this morning, Jackie?
I went down there. I said hi to people. Took my wife. She still likes to go. So I took her down there. I don't go in for the service because she knows I gotta drop her off, and we got neighbors bring her back home. But she knows I had to get down here and make food for the people. That's important too.
Does Jesus know that? Does he know why you weren't there?
Jesus knows there's going to be a lot of hungry of his followers after the show, and I believe Jesus always fed his followers.
Do you always call church a show?
Show? What do you mean show?
You said there's going to be a lot of hungry people after the show. You
Well,
talking about
it's not-
church or talking about Hurtbird show?
Well, Hurtbird show too, but church I didn't mean show. What is a show in the sense of singing?
It's a show. Let's just say
It's just, I mean, it's a good show. I like hymnals and this and that. I didn't mean it that.
But
no,
it's a
after-
show. You dress
Especially
up.
on holidays more than regular. You know, on the holidays, the kids do little Easter pageant, this sort of thing. You know, they sometimes do little. That's a show. That's a play. If it's a church, it's still a show. Is what I meant. I didn't mean no disrespect by that. But after,
Even the preaching part's kind of a show. He's putting on a show up there.
but yeah, Jesus fed his followers, gave them lots of fish and wine, loaves, gave them all that stuff, and I give them barbecue. And they pay me. It's America, but
You think anybody tried to pay Jesus? Like
I would hope so. If somebody was decent enough, I would hope so. They
Here,
didn't
take
just
it. Just-
take advantage of him. Yeah.
here, just let here for what you all this fish.
He
and
wouldn't
stuff.
take it, you know.
Yeah, he'd be like, no, please, put that away. Come on, no, put that away.
Yeah, he wouldn't.
I'll take it. Come on, Jesus.
He would appreciate the offer. I guarantee you that, though.
Gets awkward after a while, though. I'm warning you. Put that away, okay?
Well, that's probably, you know, they always say that Jesus liked poor people a lot, and he did. I'm not saying he didn't like. Obviously, he did. He makes that and had the earth, this and that. He loved poor people, but he probably hung out with them. Part of it's because of that. You know, it'd be like you said, it'd be embarrassing all the time if he hung out with wealthy people all the time. Wealthy people be trying to give him money out every which way. You know, he just no.
I tell you what, you get the next one. That's
Yeah.
what Jesus would say.
Yeah.
So Easter Sunday, we're gonna rush and get this up so that everyone can learn about the Hurtbird resurrection.
Well, get down here, watch the movie. It's gonna look just like he come back to life. Gonna look just like it.
So I guess we need to hurry up and get. Oh, we do have a little bit of housekeeping here at the beginning. Our friend Dylan Patton on Facebook here at the beginning. We're 30 minutes into this. Our friend Dylan Patton on the Facebook put up a thing where he wrote the George W. Bush Library.
Oh yeah.
And he said, hey, I would like my friends at Red State Update. Let's not say friends. Let's say acquaintances. My acquaintances at Red State Update podcast to come to George W. Bush Library and do a special podcast. We don't know what that would entail. I just like to go eat in a restaurant. I heard good things about the
Cafeteria
restaurant.
would be good. I heard like Wagon Wheel. Somebody said is a Western theme. That's what I heard.
We could look at the paintings and talk about those, and then we could go down, sit in the cafeteria. I'd do the whole podcast just sitting in the cafeteria.
That'd be fine. Me if we'd be out of the way doing it there, that's fine. I'd like if I.
Yeah, we
cafeteria.
don't want to make a big deal out of this. You can put us, George W. Bush Library, you can put us somewhere out of the way, like a closet or an attic.
we were making a joke like George Bush would actually do an interview, and I know that's silly. He's still busy painting and things like that, doesn't have time. But anybody that works like if you put us in the cafeteria, I talk to the whole staff there. What's it like work?
I'd
serving
love
sandwiches to good Americans that love George W. Bush. I'd like to hear that. And janitorial staff, anybody that works there, there ain't no low position at the George W. Bush Museum. Everything serves purpose. That's the place to be right there.
I was looking. So he wrote that email, Dylan Patton did, and then another. I forgot his name, but we said hey to his buddy last week. So far, the two people that we know that wrote the George W. Bush Museum, we mentioned their names on our podcast last week. So let's not let those be the only people. Let's not let this be a thing where we have to tit for tat, where we have to mention your name and you write the George W. Bush Museum. Why don't you get on the ball and do something for us without us having to do something for you in the first place, okay?
Hey, what? Don't be that way about it.
I'm sorry, I got a little hot for a second. But just you can write Bush 43 Media. This is the address Dylan Patton found.
Yeah.
Bush 43 Media at NARA.gov. Bush 43 Media at NARA.gov. Or just tweet the George W. Bush Library on Twitter at GWB Library.
Now, I don't know how to do none of that. There's a lot of people I know who don't know nothing about computer, Twitch, or any of that stuff, and wouldn't know who to write and how to do it. Can you write a letter like I just used to put have?
Yeah, but you're going to have to call information and get the address because I ain't got it.
Well.
But I'm sure they take letters at the George W. Bush Museum. They probably get a lot of mail there.
I would think so, yeah.
And, if we get to do a podcast there, if we get to do a podcast at the George W. Bush Museum, we'll let everybody know so that y'all can meet us there and have dinner with us in the cafeteria. If that meets with the George W. Bush's museum.
It's whatever they want to do. They call us shots.
Right.
We don't want to.
We don't want to get underfoot.
No.
We want to help.
Yeah.
We want to get on here and tell you how awesome it is after we see for ourselves.
Absolutely.
And plus, also, if we get to do it, we'll probably ask you guys to help pay for the trip. So that's right, the George W. Bush Library, Bush 43 Media at NARA.gov or at GWB Library on Twitter.
Tell them we'd like to do a live, or not a live, just a podcast, record podcast there.
Maybe we do live. They have a theater. We put on a big show.
I'll do it, yeah.
Thanks to Dylan Patton for spearheading this operation. And, if not Bush 43, we'll start at Bush 41. We'll try to go there. They were having a big party over there. We'll go to the Bush 41 Museum.
Well.
Go to the Reagan Museum.
That'd be all right, yeah.
Who'd be another good one?
That's it.
Okay. So that's Easter, George W. Bush Museum. We don't have a clip of the week this week.
I saw something.
Oh, somebody did put up a clip of the week. Funny song. They said, I want to submit this to be your clip of the week. But, Jackie, it was about sex eating.
Hey. Sex. I don't want to.
So that ain't the kind of clip of the week Jackie's in the market
No,
for.
I ain't. No,
he
sir.
likes old clips of the PTL Club.
Keep your sex videos to yourself. You ought not have them your own self. I don't want to have nothing to do with them.
He likes old clips of Colonel Sanders.
Anything Colonel Sanders good?
He liked old clips of Mickey Rooney before Mickey Rooney was dead.
Yeah.
And that's so far pretty much it. He likes clips of goats, but we don't want to do a goat clip every week.
Yeah, I guess, I mean, I like looking at a goat clip every week.
You getting burnt out on goats a little?
Well, no, I was saying I don't, but people may get tired of hearing about it.
You got to pace yourself.
Yeah. That's it. Pace yourself, yeah.
And I guess now we're freed up to talk about the news, Jackie.
Well, just to remind everybody again, just write to George
W. Bush
Bush Museum, so we do a podcast there. We're on the 76th episode now.
Oh, 76
episodes. So you gotta write them if we're gonna do it. We only got how many more to go?
We're winding down. I guess about 24 more. So y'all got to get on the stick here, because
if we get to 100, because doesn't let promise, but I don't have to do this anymore after 100 of them. if we get to 100 and then George W. Bush calls and said, come on down here, I'll still go, but I ain't going to do this here.
Oh, you just take a trip like
I just
tourist.
take a trip, go look at it, yeah.
Well, maybe they get something out of us podcasting from there. Maybe we get to tell people what it's like.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
need
If
to
that's
spread
fine, but you go ahead and get it done because it's 76 here. When we get to 100, it's, yeah.
All right, fine. Well, if we go down there and me and George W. Bush do this podcast and you ain't even on it, I won't even let you in the attic where we're doing it.
Well, he wouldn't be there too long if you did one with him. He ain't going to listen to you. You need me.
That's what you think. We'd be
That's what I
best
know.
buddies.
No.
Me and George W. Bush.
We'd be, me and him be best buddies. We older got more to talk about than you. You'd sit there and start prostitute this, everything else.
He'd laugh at that.
Well,
You know he would.
I don't know.
I say prostitute one time, he's on the floor laughing.
Well,
So write him. get on Twitter, write him. And email, write him.
we got to get there, yeah. I'd look forward to going. Think positive about it. It'll happen. That's what you do, yeah.
Secret. Don't say that Wiccan stuff on Easter. Jackie,
What?
Hillary Clinton.
Oh. What?
A lot of people saying she's a liar.
Well, yeah. I'm one of them. Add me to that list.
You
yeah.
know they threw that shoe at her.
Well, that's what we thought.
Turns out a lot of people believe it was a fake shoe,
Fake shoe, yeah.
not real.
That's what they're saying.
They're like, oh, we have to make Hillary Clinton more sympathetic. Somebody in a meeting in a room said, we have to make Hillary Clinton more sympathetic. And the rest of the people in that room were like, how? And they said, that's your job. I want 100 ideas on my desk by Friday or you're all fired.
Top of the list, get hit in the head with a shoe.
Yep, that's how. And then they all agreed, like that's the one to try.
They ran it by Carville. I know he don't work for him no more, but they called him up.
Carville's probably been sitting on this shoe thing for years. Like,
Yep,
how
finally.
about that idea I had about hitting somebody with a shoe? Like, pull that old chestnut out. They're like, you know what? I think it's finally time for Operation Fake Shoe. Fake shoe, fake baby, Jackie. Now they're saying Chelsea
Well,
Clinton's-
yeah, what's more pitiful? What do you have more sympathy for than a grandma getting hit in the face with a shoe?
Nothing.
That's it. That's
Maybe like, what kind of shoe? Horseshoe would be the worst.
Well, yeah.
That's when you'd have the most sympathy. Like
With
one
a
of them-
regular shoe, it don't matter if a grandma's coming down the street and somebody hits you in the head with a shoe. You gonna
People
you
be
all right?
mad.
Rush over there. What's wrong? You okay?
Do you want to be president? You
Yeah.
know, that kind of stuff.
President Grandma.
So now they think Chelsea Clinton getting pregnant is all a distraction. It's all a ploy for sympathy. Those are the two top ideas on the list, I reckon. On the list,
Grandbaby shoe.
grandbaby and shoe.
I'm listen. And you sit there and think it's silly, this and that and whatnot, conspiracy, all that. Them Clintons will think of anything.
That's the thing. You may think, well, that's stupid. What? I wouldn't put much of nothing past the Clintons.
It's so smart. It seems stupid. It's so smart. They knew, baby and shoe. If we come out in the media and say that that's fake, people are gonna think we're idiots, and they do. But I'm telling you, that's how smart it is.
And a 1-2 punch, too. They couldn't just shoe.
Oh no,
nothing.
back to back. Yeah, no,
Shoe
sure.
baby. Really, they should have done baby then shoe, because then you'd be like, oh, that's a grandmother you're throwing a shoe at.
They had it planned out. They
But
know what
did
they're
shoe.
doing.
I guess so. I mean, that's just me armchair quarterbacking it, but it seems like you would want her to be a granny first and then the shoe. But
Well, now in hindsight, you go back. They were throwing that shoe at a grandma.
yeah, I guess
See?
you're right. You
I
think back on it.
know.
Look, I don't know. I shouldn't question
They're
them. They're
devious.
geniuses. They're geniuses.
I know, and everybody come out like I said. They think, well, that's the dumbest thing I ever heard. So dumb, it's smart.
Look, I don't know why they killed Vince Foster, but they had a reason.
They did it.
Smart.
If people say sympathy to all this, Bill Clinton and old Monica Lewinsky gave everybody sympathy about Hillary.
So you think going back that far, they were planning to get Hillary elected president by Bill Clinton sleeping with Monica Lewinsky? Get that sympathy for her?
Well, I wouldn't put it past them. Wouldn't put it past them.
And we're talking about a plan that spans, 15 years?
Well, that's what people said back then. He's so stupid, he's smart. He said, how stupid could a president be, have an intern in there doing stuff to her in the White House, in the room right there, Oval Office? How stupid is that? Everybody said that, did it not? Democrats, Republicans, both, did we not? Everybody thought that was the dumbest thing you ever heard of.
And now look, President Grandma.
Yep, President Grandma, y'all get ready for it. If we had the first black president, about to have first grandma president. They planned this stuff out.
Not equal, I don't think. Those aren't the same things.
It's different.
We've
It's
had
different.
grandpa presidents,
Well, yeah.
but never grandma president. And, you think, well, that's stupid. That's so long ago. But it wouldn't have been that long ago if it hadn't been for spoiler Obama.
Well,
It would have been 8 years of sympathy building up for Hillary Clinton, the wronged woman. So then they had to go for Plan B, which is to get her some sort of position where she can get some people killed, and then you start to feel sorry for her because the right-wing press won't let up on her.
yep.
Sympathy. Build sympathy. How can we build sympathy for her? Have her husband cheat on her. Let her get some people killed in Benghazi.
Yep.
Baby.
Even Obama
Shoo.
could be your ultimate, just because look how well that's gone for him. Here, Obama.
Oh, you think that they threw...
She made her a loser. Everybody had sympathy for her because Obama beat her. I'm just saying he could be, for all I know, Obama could just be a pawn in the Clinton game. I don't know.
What about maybe Bush is a pawn in the Clinton game?
Well,
Well, maybe when Bush got elected, let me think about this one for a second.
well,
Bush beat Gore.
yeah. Thank the good Lord in heaven.
People felt sorry for... No, Bush is a pawn in nobody's game.
That's right.
I
There
tried
you
to
go.
make it
Nah,
work.
You ain't gonna work with it.
I'm
You
going to
can
go
think
back
about
the other way.
You can go back and think every which way you want to about President George Walker Bush, but it ain't gonna come
He
out
was
like you.
not a pawn.
No, sir.
If anything, he was the one that could have stopped it. He
Nope.
stopped it.
Yep.
Now, they are friends now, him and Bill Clinton are
Well,
friends.
yeah, they're buddies now.
I saw Laura Bush just
George
tweeted.
Bush is friend to everybody. First off, don't put that on him. He just a nice fella.
But he
just
will
like-
defeat you.
Oh, he will
If you're evil.
If you're evil, if you actually say evil, something like that, it's over with.
But he can still smile at you and wink and give you a nickname.
Well,
and
sure, yeah.
Paint your butt
That's
or
everybody
whatever.
down
Sure.
there. We talk about George W. Bush Museum. Oh, that's the reason I won't talk to the people working in the cafeteria. Don't you know when he comes in, get his sandwich, whatever, he comes in there every day, you know he looks at every one of them and got a different nickname for him.
What's your nickname? Pretty much that podcast from the George W. Bush Museum would just be, what's your nickname?
Oh, you know
What's your
when
nickname?
he's down there making his rounds, he's not there every day. I know that, but at least twice a week, just to make sure everything's running properly. You know, it's got his name on it, so you know he goes through and
Hey,
you know.
You think he's real hands-on?
It's George Bush. What do you think? Of course he is.
What do you think of the sandwich, Mr. President? Too much mustard.
He'd tell you how to make it right next time, yeah.
But he'd say it, and then he'd wink at you.
Oh, well, yeah, he'd say it in a nice way, yeah.
So, shoe fake, baby fake.
That'd be your nickname if you made a sandwich for him like that.
Too much mustard.
That's what he'd be calling you for the rest of your life if you made it that way for him.
Well, I bet the kitchen staff at the George W. Bush Museum don't put too much mustard on things.
Same here. Or any condiment for that matter. He'd have a different name. Too much ketchup, too much mayonnaise, too much mustard.
Well,
like an Abbott Costello routine, right down the line.
That's 8 years. Those are pretty easy nicknames. I don't think you give enough credit to George W. Bush. I think he'd come up with something.
Well,
real bad.
because it's just in the food staff room, it wouldn't be everybody, just them. Like janitor, spot on the floor, whatever.
But he also may call him thin on top,
Well,
Finney.
yeah, I don't know. I know for a fact, yes, you're right. George W. Bush going to come up with better nicknames than I can. That's what he does. That's
If there
his
was a
specialty.
contest of you and George W. Bush trying to come up with nicknames, he
I
would
wouldn't
win
get
easily.
I wouldn't even try to compete with that man on that. That's like I said. That's his specialty. That's what he does. He owns that as far as I'm concerned.
I hope you just lay down on the ground, cover your head, because that's what you do when you admit defeat.
Well, I'm just saying I wouldn't
In
be up
some
there to do
cultures.
it. I wouldn't do it to begin with. It wouldn't be a situation I'd ever be in.
First of all, I don't even see where you get the nerve to challenge George W.
I'm
Bush.
not challenging him into nothing. I'm just saying, trying to work out like what it's like here. I know he'd have better names, but it's still something like that. He'd have better names than just putting too much of this on a sandwich. I know he would. I know he's a smarter man there. He's a great man.
What if we get down there and it turns out that that's everybody's nickname? It really is just too much
Well,
mayonnaise.
that's fine too. If that's what he wants to do, I'm sure that's fine too.
Maybe like the nickname was a way he dealt with the pressures of being president. Now that he's no longer in the Oval Office, he's sort of lost some of his skills. Like if you threw a basketball to Michael Jordan, he doesn't play basketball anymore, does he? He'd be like
I don't
70
think so.
years
Yeah,
old.
I don't.
Okay.
I don't
Let's
think
just
he does it.
pretend he
Not
does
profe-
it.
He probably
hopefully.
does at home, I guess.
Yeah, maybe at
for
home, but
fun.
I'd say if you threw a ball to him now, he would be about half as good as he was.
Well, yeah, he ain't. He's plus
He's
you
still
devote
better
your-
than me.
He
or-
probably a good golfer though. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
right now, Bush is a good painter. That's what he does now. He's a real good painter. Can't find a better painter than him. He's the best one at it
Just
right
because
now.
he's a little out of practice with the nickname department doesn't mean that he's still not going to be one of the best nickname people.
That's
in the world.
right. He's not in his prime of nicknaming like he was back when he was in office. Because back then, you meet people all the time. You got to have a nickname. You know, back then, he meeting people every which where.
Now he's just going to Michael's
Well, yeah. And George Bush
and the
Museum.
library checking on
Yeah,
the sandwich.
make sure everything running right. Yeah.
So write your tweet at GWB Library
Oh, yeah.
on
yeah.
Twitter and Bush43 Media at NARA.
We'll find out everybody's nicknames there. Yeah, that'd be fun.
Woo! Nice Easter podcast, Jackie.
I guess. All right.
So this would be 30 minutes of sponsors and 20 minutes of talking about tweeting the George W. Bush Library. You think we should call it at that?
That's fine. If
There's
you
other
call
stuff
it
going
whatever you
on in
want
the
to.
news. I don't know if are we covering the news enough, folks? People, let us know. It seems like we spend a lot of time talking about this and that and not much of nothing else. I just hope that we're giving you enough of our unique perspective on what's happening in the news. Because
Well, yeah.
honestly, it's pretty awful and we don't like talking about it as much. But you let us know if that's what you like us to do. And we'll try to add in a little bit more of us pouring over the op-ed pages and saying, look at this guy's wrong.
Before you tell us that, though, just be sure and write to George Bush.
Right, that's
Museum.
the most
Do that
important.
first, and then tell us what we're doing wrong.
Because we're winding down, and we've only got about, 14, 15 more podcasts?
Yeah, I get what is 76, something like that.
Did
I
we
don't
say
know.
we're
100. That's
Did
it.
we ever tell? We never told people we were quitting at 100, did
Well,
we?
it
That's
is.
a new thing to them, probably.
I guess I don't know.
Sure, well, let's just... I'm sure that it'll just be full of people begging us to stay.
Well,
I don't think anybody
I don't know.
listens past the halfway mark.
It's the same thing. Ain't nobody asking Barbara Walters to stay on the View.
So we're the Barbara Walters of podcasting.
I'd say at this point, at 76. How old is she? Same age, right?
I think
76
so. So
years
that's
old?
why this is important.
We're at the Barbara Walters stage. How old Letterman? David Letterman?
He's 66.
66. Well, it's good. I'm still glad he's leaving.
That may have been episode 66. May have been when Jackie had finally had enough.
Yeah, it could have been. I don't know.
What do you think was on our episode, our 66th episode, Jackie? What do you
Hell,
think?
I don't know. I don't remember what we did yesterday.
Here, let's do a throwback Thursday.
It's the throwback. What? It's Sunday.
I think our 66th episode. All I see is in our notebook here. We keep a special podcast notebook where I just staple napkins to an old receipt log, and it says It would be people tell us ... That's
That's
the
what
only
it is.
note.
Well, that's it. It's people on the thing asking this and
Oh,
that.
people tell us. Oh,
Yeah,
that's right.
tell
Then
us
we
what
talked
talking
about Hurt Bird 2 and
Yeah,
pre-greeters.
that's exactly right. That's when I got tired of doing this.
Is that the one?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
So don't tell us. Tell George W. Bush Museum. Right?
What?
Tell them to have us come.
Oh, yeah, tell
Oh,
them. I
good
thought you
Lord.
wanted, like, don't get on here and tell us how awesome we are and how much you love listening to us every week.
Well, they don't have to do that either if they don't want to, and they can do whatever they want. But if you got a mind to it and you want to tell Bush Museum to have us here, please do.
So,
So what?
tweet the Bush Library.
Yeah.
Email them. Hillary Clinton, shoe fake, baby fake, Hurt Bird Resurrection, slot water, slot juice hose. I guess that's our 76th episode.
That's it right there. Also, we asking people to do too much. I don't want to ask them to do anything. You always say rates and review. I'd rather you write George Bush and rates and review. I'd rather them do that than come on here and tell us whatever.
Yeah, go
But
ahead
I
and
mean,
do
because
that.
people, you can't ask people to do 4 or 5 different things. You
This
can't
week,
do that.
go to the George W. Bush, do that part of
Why
it.
would you listen to anything that tells you what to do? I wouldn't do it. Don't forget to do this. Don't forget to do that. That's the reason people.
Preacher?
Well, that's different. This ain't church.
No, we ain't making near enough money.